Alright guys, TacticalRab here again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. An unbelievable day at Valorant Masters yesterday in Copenhagen. Only 4 teams remain with a chance of winning this tournament, but plenty else going on also. Sentinels, their bootcamp has officially begun. We've got a couple of clips to share from that, and maybe ShahZaM getting a bit of a bootcamp buff, but also Version1 seemingly making a roster change. They're trying to link Wardell or Zombs, but maybe that's not overwhelmingly likely. Very much enjoy your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's crack right on with things here. Firstly, from this Version1 stuff. So, of course, Sentinels, they bring zyppan into their team. They're going to need a replacement for him, of course, in the roster. Now, yes, Version1 haven't got anything to play the rest of the season. They failed to qualify for the last chance qualifier by not having enough points, right? So them as an organization must be in a rather interesting spot here because they're still playing these kind of online tournaments. I'm sure they're still hoping as an organization they're going to get a spot in franchising next year. But just because of like how restricted the partnership league is next season, especially in North America, are Version1 going to get a spot? They're quite a big organization with quite a lot of like cash behind them and capital behind them, but are they big enough? Like, have they had the results really? They did have the results early on in Valorant. Have they really like transferred that through? This is Zelta's kind of flying out there to Texas for the bootcamp the Sentinels are currently doing. But like, I mean, yeah, have Version1 done enough to really justify a spot in the partnership league? I think it's rather doubtful that they're going to get in, to be perfectly honest. They may be on the cusp, but I'm sure they're hoping that like their long-term commitment will be recognized by Riot, and therefore they'll choose them to be part of the partnership league next season. But if they're not, then like, what happens to that team? What happens to those players? Do Version1 stay around in kind of the tier 2 division without the chance to play in the big leagues? Seems unlikely. It's like they might be another organization that's going to suffer from this. But I thought it was interesting that they're still seemingly committing to bringing more players into the lineup and actually trying to keep this roster moving in the correct direction. So as Vanity says, he's not going to lie, you are bad. You guys lost a scrim to a coach today, right? So like as Whippy says, like eventually Vanity's voicing Version1, and then Whippy says you guys lost to a scrim to a coach today. So what I'm guessing this means is that often when a team is trying out a new player, they will like that player will either play on someone else's account, or maybe their coach actually did sub in for this particular scrim or whatever. But like quite often, like when a 5th player is being tried out, they'll use him on their like coach's account or something, just so that other teams don't get to see who they're trialing and all this. Or maybe Whippy's just saying this to try and pretend that they're not actually got a 5th player solidified yet. But as Vanity says, do you want me to tweet picture plus scoreboard at leaking 5th? I'll leak it for free, says Zelsis here, right? So seemingly they do know who the 5th player is going to be, who's going to replace Zelsis within this Version1 lineup. And then Imi actually says, the coach of this team says V1 Zombs or V1 Wardell, and then Vanity goes, I can leak it, you wouldn't, right? So he seemingly knows who the 5th player is for the Version1 team. Of course, they've not exactly got much to play for the rest of the season, right? They're going to play these like Mickey Mouse tourneys, and that's probably it until next year, hoping to get a spot in the partnership league. There's going to be some third-party tourneys and stuff like that as well. So like, I don't really reckon, like Zombs even said recently on stream that like he wants to get back in the pro league, effectively in the VCT, but maybe not yet because no one really wants to make a change, he said. And Wardell to Version1, like, seems rather unlikely as well. But yeah, he's going to try and tease this stuff. It's probably a very different player, but again, Vanity seems to know who it's going to be, because this of course was their team. They played their last match with Zelsis, who's dominated kids, and then of course he's gone now to Sentinels. We'll discuss Sentinels here in a few minutes time. We've got to talk about this Fnatic versus Leviatan series, man. This was like, we've seen a lot of crazy matches this tournament. This was the most like gut-wrenching map, I'm sure, if you're a Fnatic fan at times, to watch this one, just how it was going down. Like this map 3 was just superb. As Leaf says, Bind is still the worst map ever, but wow, did it deliver an absolute series here. So Leviathan Fnatic, right? Like Fnatic are for sure looking shaky. I thought they would come into this tournament relatively confident that they could make a serious run. They come in game 1. Fnatic eventually take this one to overtime. Like, I mean, Turko gets a critical collateral here in what would end up being the final round of regulation play. Fnatic take it to OT here on the fracture. They win the overtime. They take it to a game 2. Leviathan then bounce back on a set. Like, this series was so close, man. Honestly, like Enzo especially, I mean, the MVP of the series, boaster Enzo. Turko honestly didn't even do that much, but Leviathan, man, like, honestly, great team. They put up a real fight in this series, and they probably should have won it. I'm sure they'll feel like they should have won this series, because it goes to a bind decider here, and this was just such a crazy situation. Fnatic eventually go up at 11-9 at this point. Like, Boaster had a crazy round, and then a couple of big offenses come through the Leviathan. Eventually, they go down 12-11, though, and this is a round that potentially could have sent Fnatic straight through to the top 4 of the tournament. It's a 2 versus 2 retake. Boaster gets on the defuse, and Enzo just has to cover him. Enzo just needs one more kill. He gets the kill as well, but Boaster gets off the bomb. Like, if he stuck the bomb the whole time, he would have got it. And like the way that the camera panned away, like Fnatic knew they hadn't got it, unfortunately, at this point. Like, it was kind of crazy to even figure out what was happening here. But I mean, yeah, they missed the defuse by maybe a second or so, because Boaster, I guess he didn't have the full confidence in his teammate that Enzo was actually going to clutch up this hard and not win the mid. So like Boaster got off the defuse very briefly. You guys can actually see it right here. So Boaster gets on it. If he sticks it the whole time, but he gets off it there, right, for like a second. If he sticks it the whole way, like they probably get this diffuser and win the game then and there, right? So Boaster gets off the defuse, and the storylines are honestly so crazy because it goes to overtime. They then go down 13-12, and then Enzo clutches the most insane 1v3. If they win this tourney now, like it's all because of this guy. He gets the first kill, gets the second one as well, and look at the baller, like look at the balls he plays on this. He just sticks to the fuse. 13-12, he just sticks it. Meltzer's like, surely he's not going to stick this one. Boaster just didn't stick it 2 seconds ago. He just holds the whole thing down and gets the kill as well. That, and he was ice cold as well. He just fist bumps his teammates and we're like, okay, we go again, boys. Like that was ice cold from Enzo, man. What a play. Like this was the most like incredible round of Valorant like I've seen in a while. I thought it was done, and then he just sticks to the fuse like that. Like, you know, fine, I'll stick it myself, says Enzo to Boaster after that one. Eventually, Boaster actually turned up though and kind of made up for his error because he picks up the orb on attacking side and just gets like a load of kills and wins them in an attacking round for free. Still though, Leviathan would not go down without a fight. They bounce back to 15-15. It eventually goes 17-15. I mean, this round which should have been unwinnable as well because like I think there's some like, well, algorithm that calculates round win percentage. And in this particular round, this is a 4 versus 2 in favor of Fnatic with just 12 seconds on the clock. And yes, the algorithm probably doesn't consider exactly where the enemies are, where the players are, so it doesn't really know, okay, what their chances are of actually winning the round if they get a crucial kill and then plant the bomb or something. But like, yeah, this round with no HP on Meltzer, really, like a 2 versus 4 in this situation, they still somehow win this round, tied up at 15-15. But in the end, it's Boaster and Fnatic that come out on top. So like, yeah, he went Giga Chad mode game 3, but it was Enzo, honestly, that saved them in that 1 versus 3. Remarkable stuff. So Fnatic, honestly, they struggled here. Like, I thought they were going to be more dominant in a matchup like this, but maybe this is the key game. Get over this kind of hurdle of a very strong team like Leviathan, even as Boaster says, I'd hope they don't have to play them again at Champions, because if that is the case, it's going to be a tough match for anyone they play. Great run here from Leviathan, but not to be at the end. Fnatic take it 2-1. Like a just crazy series, honestly. Turko didn't have his best series, but it was really the clutch plays from Boaster and Enzo in that map 3 binds that got the job done. And Boaster 31-20. This guy took over the final map of the series. Like, yeah, credit where it is due. The other series that was going on to determine the other top 4 team was DRX versus FPX. And this honestly was a DRX classic, right? It's crazy how the same storyline has played out for them 2 events in a row. They look incredibly good early on. They get through. They play OpTic eventually in the winners bracket, lose to OpTic, go down to losers, and then get bopped out of the tournament straight away. So this is honestly incredible. FPX just, once I get to in the team again, they look so good, man. Like, I really like this team. I've really enjoyed watching this team online. And I really thought the DRX, so the way they started this tourney, the way they came up against OpTic on Fracture and like 8-0'd them on the first like 8 rounds, I was thinking there's no way that DRX like will somehow still go out top 6 here, but it's exactly what happens. FPX come through, like, I mean, yeah, nice little 1v2 right there. Goes to a game 2 here on the Fracture, and FPX pretty much dominate this one as well from start to finish. This was not a particularly close series, and for some reason, when DRX find themselves in an elimination game, they just always lose, right? As Slow points out right here, DRX has never won an elimination game on LAN. Once they're in the losers bracket, they are done for, right? They've lost to Zeta, they've lost to Cloud9, they've lost to Gambit back when they were called Vision Strikers, and then most recently, of course, to FPX as well. So yeah, tough scenes with DRX, man. I really thought that it was going to be good. And like, this was before that series where they hadn't actually been 2-0'd until they lost here to FPX. So every other defeat they had was in 3. This one was in 2. So like, I mean, yeah, tough if you're a DRX fan, right? Because it felt like it could be their tournament to do some damage here, but they lose to OpTic as per usual, and then they go down to losers and lose their first game as well. This time to FPX, a very scary looking FPX, it must be said. That leaves these as the final 4 of the tournament. OpTic, Paper X, one of those is guaranteed top 3 at minimum. Fnatic, FPX, then European Games, another matchup between Fnatic and FPX. How often do we see these two go head to head, to be honest? And yeah, look at this thing across the board. There was no doubt that this team was firing at all cylinders, and with Sagetsu back, like they really found their groove again and knew exactly what they were doing on the map. Let's talk briefly the Sentinels Bootcamp. The guys are in the SA Sentinels. Bootcamp starts in 24 hours. The guys are there officially, like at least most of them are. TenZ is there, dapr is there, ShahZaM is there, Zelters is certainly there, and I'm guessing Shroud is arriving imminently as well. It seems like the Guard are also doing some sort of bootcamp ahead of what is going to be the last chance qualifier for them as well. But I'll show a couple of clips here from this bootcamp of the guys kind of setting up shop, trying to get some sort of stream setup on the go, and also maybe ShahZaM getting a bit of a buff.
He's back side.
You wall up?
Actually.
Just wall up.
Walling up.
Tap the spike.
Nowhere to run.
It's fine, just dance.
30
Oh.
seconds
Wall is coming
left.
down right now. Wall is down.
Tap the spike again.
Excuse me
Left
somehow
side
through the
snowman.
wall.
Viper's right there.
Shoot, shoot.
Spike down.
13.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3.
10 seconds left.
Oh.
Oh my god.
How do I get away with this?
All good, all good, all good, all good.
Catch them.
Backside.
One enemy remaining.
I saved you.
Why do you do it like an AI? Yo, thanks for the subs. I feel like I'm missing him.
Bro, my chat's bullying me because they can literally see me sweat.
I lowered it, bro. What more
Or
do you want?
what? Oh,
I
wait,
lowered
what?
the thermostat.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Like I'm being bullied.
kinda sounds
I'm expecting you to
complaining.
comfort me. Like you're
Like
supposed to
you're
be my wife.
gaslighting me.
I mean, they just FF'd. What? That's just the easiest of my life. We should have started boot camping years ago.
Hey, man. I hate these webcam angles.
So is this bootcamp going to be the key to Sentinel's success? I think it's pretty cool to see all the guys there in the apartment. They're going to play scrims and probably try and iron out some of their difficulties they've had the last week or so since Shroud's announcements. But I'm sure there is plenty of work to be done. These are the top performers on the day there at Masters Copenhagen for day 9. And now we get a couple of days off. So this is the bracket as it currently looks. The next match that will be played, which I guess is going to be the upper finals between PaperX and OpTic Gaming, will be played in front of a crowd. 4 matches remaining for the rest of this weekend. There's going to be 2 games this upcoming Friday, 1 game on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday, and that's going to be in front of a crowd at Masters Copenhagen. So exciting stuff, and yeah, probably the way the tournament is played out, the 4 best teams. So hard to call the way the rest of this tourney happens, but very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on a like button. Tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.